And you're going to see that everywhere. On t-shirts, stickers, painted on destroyed, bombed out buildings, every place. On the road, every place.
Genius.
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh no, we have to bombard with this. People have to see it consciously, just like you're saying. You have to, the parrot. Yeah, you have to be in that mantra day in, day out, day in. The more we see it, the more people are going to be talking about that. Just you turn on the news and it's just everything negative is, you know, in a loop.
Of course. Well, this is part of a. Look, I spent an afternoon with Dr. Edward Bernays. Most people don't know who he is. He was the founding father of public relations. He started the whole thing. He was 97 at the time I met with him. And there are certain people, you know, who have a very malice agenda. And if Jesus said this, and if it's true, I believe the only way to confront this is, as he may have stated, resist not evil with evil. Resist it with its equal or opposite, good or love. And so that's what we're doing. Music is the most powerful way to shift that consciousness. And I believe that there are certain musicians, because of their spiritual practice and their devotion, they can tune into what Pythagoras calls the music of the spheres, which are basically a series of frequencies and harmonics analogous to what the industrial psychologist Maslow would have called a state of self-actualization, or what certain spiritual teachers like Yogananda or etc. would call a state of self-realization. So in other words, these would be thoughts like love, compassion, forgiveness, empathy, these higher orders of thinking, which moves consciousness out of a linear and dualistic right, wrong, good, bad view of the world, and it moves consciousness into a holographic perspective of seeing how everything is lovingly and divinely interconnected. So I spent 11, almost 10 years writing this position paper on the effects of music in consciousness, because it was apparent to me, with all the doctors at the cutting edge of things, Bernie Siegel, Deepak, Larry Dawsey, Dean Ornish, they were all talking about how negative emotions created dis-ease in the body. None of them had connected the dots between what Tolstoy said, music is the shorthand of emotions. And Confucius actually went so far as to say, if one desires to know whether a kingdom is well governed and if its morals are good or bad, the quality of the music furnishes the answer. So I've spent my life curating some of the most enlightened musicians on the planet. The Global Peace Song Awards contest is an extension of that. Ricky Cage, who just won the Grammy for Best New Age Album in 2015, has partnered with me on this. And we're looking to find the most enlightened musicians on the planet to
that's wonderful.
Promote songs about peace and love and joy and what we're really about. There's a great film called Copying Beethoven, where the actor Ed Harris plays Beethoven, and it's about the relationship he has with a woman who's scribing his music, hence the name Copying Beethoven. And in the film, he's a very abusive and dismissive human being of this beautiful woman. And one day out of sheer guilt, he slams his hand on the table. He says, "What's the deal? Why do you take this from me? Stand up for yourself." And she starts to weep. And she says, "I do this because I hope by being in your presence, one day, I might be able to write great music like you." And so her words and her tears so sincerely move him that he finally sits with her at the table like this, eye to eye, to share with her the intimacy of the volition through which the music occurs through him. And he says these words, and this is the litmus test I'm looking for in music. He says, "The vibrations on the ear are the breath of God speaking to man's soul." Music is the language of God. We musicians are as close to God as man can be.